Hi, this is Kaming here. I'm from the group 22. For my experiment set, I'm actually doing the hierarchical clustering using the dendrogram and the allogrammetric clustering. So the data set that we are doing for our group project would be the video game sales. So in this case, we just wanted to use this unsupervised machine learning to learn how does the items are being clustered. So overall, this particular item will be, I would say that quite interesting in a way that it does give us the look of the data is pretty much have a very high variance, regardless whether this is the North America sales, the EU sales, the Japan sales, or other sales and the global sales. So in this case, at least for the current experiment set, I'm actually not doing any form of normalizing of the data because I just wanted to see what is the effect of the clustering just basing on this old data over here. So yep, video game is a pretty much is an interesting subject that uh, of interest of my team. So for the experiment, we will be dividing the data into like the 80s, 90s, 2000, and the 2010, and we'll be comparing the data using the agglomerative clustering as well as the dendrogram to see what are the common pattern that we can see. In all this experiment, I'll be focusing just on the North America sales, and from there, we will see whether there's any, I would say that strange pattern or something that we can learn from there. And the result that we are getting is pretty much, I would say that is somehow would be unexpected because it seems that the agglomerative clustering, regardless of the number of cluster that we have, I've actually used right now. I'm actually using the tree. We are able to see those. I would say that the outliers being highlighted in two different decades. That's mean in the 80s from the agglomerative clustering, regardless this is in the 1980s or in the 1990s, there's no, I would say that there's no big pattern to indicate that which part of the year in the cluster right will actually promise a very good sales in the video games title that we see earlier. One of the interesting thing is the 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 clustering itself will show that you have a very big outlier, whereas the rest is just a cluster as one, which is below expected sales, which is about less than 10 million or less than that. It is the same with the 90s in this case. So it seems that based on this comparison, for at least from the agglomerative clustering, in this case, in the tree cluster, we can actually see that uh, the top performer and the average Joe is pretty much too far from each other. So it seems that even we compare the data set in the 2000 as well as in the 2010, right? Everything seems to be uh, somehow predictable. It seems that each of these decade there'll be one or two games that will actually reach a very astronomical success if let's say we equate the sales that we have as a success. So in this case, it seems that uh, the pattern itself it is only focusing on a very big successful game followed by not so successful in sales. They actually climb up together. This is actually something quite interesting. So when I actually run it through using the dendrogram, using the what, the reason the linkage use is what is because the variance of the data is too far apart for the sales. So in this case, if you look at the diagram itself for the dendrogram, this is the on the left would be the 1980s and on the right would be the 1990s. Basically, you can see something very similar. That's mean if let's say there's an outlier that have a bigger sales, right, it will be clumped up together and in the very high end over here. and followed by those are not so I would say that not so successful titles, the average Joes or below or mediocre games. Same goes to the 2000 as well as the 2010. So technically, we can see that the dendrogram as well as the agglomerative clustering itself, it really shows that it's really a tough business to be in the video game sales. So based on this conclusion, right, it seems that the conclusion that we have from this experiment is that the video game sales to be successful itself, this is something which is very I would say the high risk and high return, and even the game industry by themselves, they did admit that this is something is a very high risk itself. And if you check in the new approach by all these major publisher, they are just reusing those known good known good sales title, which they will just create multiple franchise until the franchise die. So in this case, I would say that based on the agglomerative as well as the dendrogram, it explained that the game industry by itself, by looking at the sales as a success, it will be something, need to be something like a groundbreaking game. Only then in every generation, which is in a span of 10 years, we will see that the video game sales will be much more higher. So in this case, it is not just sticking to the old known formula, but it's like investing in some new title in order for the game to be successful properly. So this conclude the conclusion of the experiment that I have. Thank you very much.